Yeah, thank you all you guys coming in. Yeah, maybe we will start in 1 minute, and if you have some friends want to come, and you can send them in the according to the link I tested in the our test channels, which is all about jazz. You can click on that, and I posted a link to the Discord, so you can send our full WhatsApp or send out through the Facebook, and so see if you all have more friends who want to come and join us, and we will, yeah, and see Oliver will talk about a little bit things, some things about big bands, and we can see. And if you have some questions, you can ask him because he is so experienced in these areas. And yeah, I would like to welcome all you guys to join this if the events. This is the first time we organized the Congress, which is the Hong Kong Jazz Congress. And yeah, thank you all you guys coming in. I think all of you are the jazz lovers, or you are interested about jazz, and also you would like to know more about any information about jazz. And even this the session today we mainly focus on about the big bands that's which is in the swing era. So I would like to invite our guest is like Oliver to talk about the stories in big bands and what the swing era, why is so important to jazz, and how this is a different sound. It's like different between any other jazz. Because there's a lot of type of jazz, and it's like for example bossa nova and funk, or even like a smooth jazz, a bebop, or etc. And big band is like in a era playing a very important role before any developments. I think this is a good time to have Oliver to share about the big band's stuff in this moment, and which is in the Congress also. So it's a very I'm so glad to have him to here. And also today we have a moderator who is Curtis, and actually we are friends. More than years. I don't know. It's like more 6 years, 7 years. I totally forget.
So
Anyway, we know each
nearly 10.
other's. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
As I know before we met 7 years. We are so beginner as. Now we are also a beginners to jazz also, but we were
Yeah.
playing in a band and practice together. But yeah, and yeah, thank you so much, you guys. And
Hey.
now I'm trying to pass the the microphone
Yeah.
to you guys, and you can share a little bit more. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Curtis. I'm just like a friend of the group, but it's my pleasure to introduce everyone to my good friend and my teacher, Oliver Cura. He is so years ago, I wanted to learn to play the jazz trombone, and everyone in Hong Kong just said there's only one teacher that you should be thinking of, and that's Oliver. And of course, I've seen Oliver in many of the big band shows already. I love seeing big band, and he pops up everywhere. So right now, I'll paint a picture about Hong Kong. We've been under lockdown for so many months. Finally, one of the big shows comes up. It's Andrew Toussaint's big band in City Hall.
Mhm.
I go there, like, how many people were there? 20, 30? The band was big. It's like a big band,
Yeah, around 20s.
about 20 people. And who's in first chair? It's my old teacher, Oliver. And so he's played with some of the biggest big bands in Hong Kong. Andrew Toussaint's coming out right now. Tony Carpio's right now. And he actually conducts his own big band, Big Band Express. He'll tell you more about that later coming on. So today's talk is basically ask a couple questions. He's going to run through what's on his mind when he thinks about big band. And hopefully at the end, if you have any questions, either leave in the chat and I'll ask him, or you could maybe ask him in person later. And so the first question I have for you, Oliver, is what is the big band scene in Hong Kong? Uh,
Right now, the big band scene in Hong Kong is getting better after, after 3 years of pandemic, no shows, no, nothing you can see in the bars or clubs. No, there's no bands. But for now, it's it's going better, getting better, because as of now I had some 2 shows last time in Hong Kong City Hall with Andrew Tuason Big Band, and then last Sunday we just finished our show with Shereen Wong in West Kowloon. West Kowloon, yeah. And next week I have a big band recording with Tony Carpio next Sunday. So it seems big band events is getting better and better now.
So, I guess just for those people interested in big band, you've played a lot. What is the history of big band? What are some of the key players in the genre?
Okay. As we know, jazz came from New Orleans, right?
Oh, yeah.
So from black people, it started from black people who they just tried to jam with the music without looking at the score. They just tried to make their own style of music, and then white guys adapted the style. It sounds, I think it seems interesting for them. It's like different sound on a classical style of music. It's very danceable. It's very happy music. So white people tried to form their own bands, and started with maybe just some few horns on the beginning, like maybe 3 or 4, until it became bigger and bigger. One of my idol, he's also a trombone player and a band leader. His name is Tommy Dorsey. So Tommy Dorsey is a very famous trombonist, also a band leader in his era. Most of the songs they played are in swing style, like what Jonathan asked before. In this time, this is the swing era of music, because swing and dance collaborated. So it means music is very powerful, because you can move people because of music, because of this kind of style, which is swing. So most of the songs that they play, they arrange it in a swing style of music. It could be slow, it could be moderate, and it could be faster. So in that time, they have a lot of clubs, bars in US, and people came along to some people, they just drink and watch. Some people, they bring their partner to dance, because they have a big dance floor, and the big bands they have their own stage. So Tommy Dorsey also have a lot of YouTube videos. It's very old school, it's a black and white, and you can hear the recording is not too clear, but it's very important for us musicians, because we cannot find those recordings, very rare. But when you see those videos, you will say, wow, this is their time. It was like very happy moments for every people who went to the bar and the club, because they're dancing with the music. But when the World War came, World War I or World War II, everything's changed. And there's another trombone player. His name is Major Glenn Miller. He's also a band leader, composer, arranger, and the trombonist, a very famous trombonist. He also formed his own big band. He also formed his own style. And as we know, if you know Glenn Miller, you can listen to his composition or some of his arrangement of music, like the famous In the Mood. So yeah, exactly. That's the very famous song that I always hear every time in the big band. They always play that. That's the national anthem of big band, actually. So beside Glenn Miller's group, he also joined the military. So he also formed his own big band in the U.S. military Air Force. Of course, he's a composer. He also composed some military composition. Sounds like St. Louis blues in the march style, not just swing. So he put music together, like from swing, from Dixieland to swing to march, or something like more danceable that people can move their feet on the floor, and they also entertain the military camp. So they're the one who, even there's a war, they're still playing in the camp. They're still playing some swing or any music that so happy or so lively.
Mm.
I can recommend a movie that you can find out a lot of things about Glenn Miller. Is there's a movie called Glenn Miller Story. So if you see that movie, uh, you will found out a lot of things about him and about his time. I just remember they have a big band, a military big band, and there's a war already. It's already bombing, but they keep playing and playing. I don't know if it's already exaggerated on the movie. I don't know if it really happened on that time, but it's really interesting.
So let me stop here and ask, what is the sound of big band that draws you in? Like, you're a big fan of big band music. What is different, specific to this sound that you really like?
Okay, of course, like what I mentioned earlier, swing are very famous.
Yeah.
But for me right now, I'm also experimenting or something like I'm also wanting to play something different style, like on a modern time. Like now, there's a lot of composition for big band, like even fusion or punk or rock and roll or any lively music besides swing.
Yeah.
They arrange it for big band. Compared to a small band, they have pre jam. They can play any melody they want. They can start how many bars they want. But in big bands, everything's are detailed. Everything's are written, and you should have a knowledge of sight reading.
Yes.
At least classical training, and you should know how to play dynamics and articulation, because some arrangement, all the articulation are written on the top or near the notes, near the measure. But sometimes arrangers, they don't put any articulation, so the players is the one who will play the right things that he feel. So all professional players, especially the lead players, decide what they want to put on this articulation. Whether they need to make it short or they need to make it long. So they will decide. The lead players, like the first trombone, first trumpet, or first alto sax, they will decide, and then every section will follows. Like the saxophone section, we have 5 saxophone. Usually, we have 5 saxophones on the big band. We have first alto, the lead alto sax, second alto, first tenor, and second tenor, and then we have the bigger saxophone. It's called the baritone sax. So every instrument on the section have their own role. So when the lead alto sax play, others will follow him. They need to follow the articulation, the style that he will make on the playing.
I see what you mean. I see. As a
Even for trumpets or trombone, it's the same.
Players have to. There's a what is it? A leadership, social aspect. You have as a section. You have to decide how to meld with the rest of the band.
Exactly.
So tell us what other key players are in a big band. You just mentioned there's trumpet and trombone, saxophones.
Yeah.
Who else?
Of course, we have the rhythm section. Rhythm section also have a very important role, especially the drummer. The drummer is the driver of the big band. If like on our big band and on our big band express, I always focus on the drummer first before the other players.
Really?
Because once the drummer is stable, the tempo, the playing, everything will follows.
So there's drummer, and who else is in the rhythm section? The drummer,
the bass guitar,
and
then electric guitar, and piano.
So you conduct the Big Band Express. So can you tell me, when you conduct, what do you try to bring out in the music? How do you choose the music, and what do you try to bring out?
Okay, I choose the music mostly what I want to play in different setup in different how do you say this like location. Example, like last time we played in the airport. I choose most of the song that related to airplane to something like airport. I don't know. I mean, airplane like flying, swing, something like that. It depends on the how do you call this, the venue, and it depends on the place or location. Yeah, and the event, what kind of event they want you to do.
I see. I see. So when I came to see the Andrew Toussaint big band, he chose a very classical repertoire. I
Mhm.
thought, right?
Yes,
A lot of Glenn Miller,
yes.
a lot of some Benny Goodman. So can you tell me like what is this different sound of these composers? Like you mentioned you really like Tommy Dorsey, but what about the sound really is different from the trombonist? Or you try to
Yes, the difference between like the Duke Ellington and Glenn Miller tunes.
Mhm.
I will start with Glenn Miller. Glenn Miller songs mostly they don't have a lot of improvisation. Mostly the arrangement are like straightforward.
Oh, okay.
It's like intro, verse, chorus, something like that in a form of a song, right? So I haven't heard a lot of improvisation on Glenn Miller's music.
Mhm.
Sometimes yes, there are some few, but most of his songs I don't heard a lot.
Mm.
But for Duke Ellington, because he's a pianist, he wants to to make it on in a standard jazz style, like a small band, but arranged for a big band.
Mm.
So they always put an open solo in the mid part of the songs.
What do you mean open solo? What's that?
It's like after the intro, of course, you will play the verse, the chorus, and then there is an open solo. Means everyone, all your soloists can play improvisation inside the loop of the
Okay.
yeah.
You want to talk about some of the other big bands that you think are kind of influential to the
Yeah.
genre?
Yeah, like beside Duke Ellington have a lot of very important shared on big band scene, because most of the people love his music.
Yeah. What are some of the
It's like there's a lot. Maybe I cannot name a few. Maybe it's a standard,
standard?
just standard, and arranged in the big band. Yeah, big band group. So there's another big band leader. His name is Maynard Ferguson.
I hear.
Yeah, he's a trumpet player, a very famous on playing high notes.
High notes.
So he introduced his big band in a different way of playing. So when his big band play, you can hear a lot of trumpets playing high notes. Yeah, and I remember when I saw his big band, he also introduced a lot of different instruments. Like he played French horn, euphonium to his solo. Even the trombone with bulb with it's called the super bone. It's a trombone with bulb on the left and slide on the right.
Okay.
It's called super bone. So he introduced that kind of instrument on his big band. And if you know the movie called Rocky Balboa, you know the 60s and 80s movie, Sylvester Stallone. I remember, I think they played the tune on his big band. They arranged the tune on his big band in their own way.
Yeah, that's gonna fly now.
Gonna play now, exactly.
I see.
So you can hear a lot of trumpets there playing high notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they used the big band on his time, in the soundtrack of the movie.
Interesting.
Because it's around 70s era.
Yeah.
So even there's another guy called Buddy Rich.
Buddy Rich.
Yeah, Buddy Rich. So Buddy Rich is a drummer, a very famous drummer,
Right.
and very known on being strict.
Right.
He's very strict, and I heard not just I heard, I also read that he's not good reader, he's not a good reader
Okay.
on the score.
Yeah.
But he got his own arranger for him. So before they rehearse, the arranger show him everything first. What will happen on the music? He will hear the arrangement, and then after that, everything's already programmed on his mind. And then when they play, it's like recorded already. You won't hear him any wrong playing, and he's still the boss. He's still very strict on his people. When he hears something wrong, he will, of course, scold everything.
How about when you conduct? Do you arrange yourself, or do you
Okay, good question. Before, I used to conduct on my big band, the Big Band Express, when we had some big shows, like for something like an event that needs a conductor, like a scene that should be more, to say that, elegant, or more cozy.
Cozy.
So of course, if there's a conductor in the big band, it looks more cozy.
Sure.
But some events that we played, like for small events, I rather play trombone and conduct some parts of the song, like the introduction, the cueing, the ending. That's the most important to conduct for. But I can still play, because I found out that I still wants to play trombone rather than just conducting.
Okay.
It's more fun and it's more challenging, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Who else have we prepared? After Buddy Rich, we have this picture of you of Bob.
Oh, I was so lucky that Bob Mintzer came to Hong Kong, and he played with Saturday Night Jazz.
Oh, yeah.
So I was there playing on the trombone section, and luckily that Bob Mintzer gave me one solo, and when I finished my solo, he let me stand up.
Oh, nice.
He appreciated my solo. I'm so happy that time. And he's a great man, very humble, very knowledgeable guy, because he's a composer of modern big bands. If you hear his composition, you cannot compare it to Glenn Miller. You cannot compare it to others. It's more modern, like fusion or funky or something, like more special flavors on big band music.
So I wonder, as big bands, today's big bands, how they different in the arrangement? Do they just use different styles, like you say, or what exactly gives it a modern sound?
It's like, compared to classical, they evolve. Classical music, they evolved to contemporary classical music, like the contemporary, how do you call that? Contemporary music.
Okay.
So jazz music also evolved to different styles. So from Glenn Miller, Tommy Dorsey, Benny Goodman. Now we have some modern composers like Gordon Goodwin.
Oh, yeah.
Bob Mintzer. So many great arrangers and composer on this time, because of course, like what I've said, when you hear the song already too much,
Yeah.
it feels like it's too boring for you. You want to make something more interesting. You want to make something different from that music that you heard before for so long. Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell, someone goes to a big band show, they don't know much about how the orchestra is set up. Can you walk through what should they expect? What is the role of each of the sections and players?
Okay, I mentioned already about the role, but I will add some more.
Please.
For example, like for saxophones, we have 5 saxophones, 2 alto, 2 tenor, and 1 baritone. We have 4 trumpets. We have lead trumpet, second trumpet, third trumpet, fourth trumpet. All those trumpets have their own role. All trumpets or 4 trombones, they have their own specialty. I mean, if you, example, Curtis, you're good on solo, I will put you on the second trumpet.
Second trumpet.
Yeah, but if you're good on high notes, I will put you on the lead trumpet.
I see.
You're supposed to play high notes on lead trumpet. There's a lot of high notes.
I see.
So, but if you're good in improvisation, it's like better to stand on second trumpet.
I see.
And then the third trumpet supporting the others, like supporting the fourth, supporting the second, and the fourth trumpet supporting also the whole, because for trumpet playing on the bottom, even it's low notes, but it's very important. There the fourth trumpet will gives the the foundation of the sound.
Oh, I see.
Even the
Foundation.
trombones, we have four trombones: first trombone, second trombone, and third trombone. We have bass trombone.
Bass
So
trombone.
bass trombone also support the bottom. The bottom is the one who will make the sound more powerful, especially when they play together. Yeah.
How about the other? What's the role of the rhythm section?
Okay, rhythm section. Basically, rhythm section always present, even small band or big band, right? But I always tell this to my drummer. If you play in the small band, if you're a drummer, you're only driving a car.
Okay.
You're driving a car, a taxi. Let's say taxi.
Taxi.
But when you play in the big band, it's like you're driving in a big bus, double decker, double decker bus, because it's very different to handle a small band than a big band. The drummer is always like the main foundation, the drummer should always play exactly as much as possible, exactly rhythm, very groovy. You need to find the right groove every time, and it's supposed to be on time, because if he lose his rhythm, everything will follows, everything will affected.
That's true. So tell me, as when you play the trombone in a big band, what are some of the most challenging aspects of performing in a big band then?
For trombone,
or for any instrument? What's the technical challenge?
okay, so the most technical challenge on big band playing is like, because of course when you play in the big band, you should also learn improvisation,
Sure.
not just reading. And then if you're a classical player, you want to play big band, you want to adjust your playing. It's not the same on playing the articulation, it's not the same on playing the rhythm, especially swing. The eight notes of the classical are very straight, like tan 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 tan, but in the big band, it's supposed to be swing eights. Badu, 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 badu. It's very different. So you need to learn everything that needs to to make your playing improve. Example, of course, you need to practice improvisation. You need to learn the chords, the scales, different scales. You need to learn different styles, different genre, from swing to Latin to punk to rock and roll or pop. You need to differentiate your solo, your improvisation solo. It's not Latin solo is different from swing solo. It shouldn't be the same. So swing solo should be more on the old school style, like yeah. But of course when you do punk solo, it's more modern. It's like more rhythmical, more punky, more groovy. Yeah. It's very different. Even not too much note, but they call it, at least you do a solo with a very spicy notes.
Spicy notes.
Spicy notes, yeah.
Okay. So can you tell me, what are some of your favorite pieces to play in a big band? Either the ones you conduct or you've been in? What are the big hits?
Right now I love to play punk and samba.
Oh, and samba.
Samba, yes. Because it feels more interesting for me, because I feel more happy, more lively. I can. It's and challenging as well. It's challenging because punk music is more syncopation. There's a lot of syncopated notes.
Yeah.
So when you play punk, it's like you need to also to read the score properly and listen to everyone, to your bandmates. Playing in the big band is not just like playing alone in the small band. Like if you have one saxophone or two horns, like trumpet and saxophone, it's easy to play together. But in the big band, you need to listen to left and right. You need to use your ears left and right, and you're thinking as well when someone is playing loud, especially the lead is playing loud, you need to follow. If the lead is playing vibrato, you need to follow the style.
See. So I see what you're saying, because I hear that in a small, like a trio or quartet, jazz players have to listen to each other and respond. But even in a big band, there's a lot of interaction.
Like interaction, exactly. Yes, right, correct.
That's all the kind of things on my mind right now. I
Mhm.
know. Are you preparing any shows coming up?
So lucky that we got shows again.
Yeah.
Coming on December 17, my band, the Big Band Express, is going to do a show on December 17 at 9 p.m. Please support, and you can also find our band page on Facebook. You can find the Big Band Express, so you can update and and find the some of our videos if you want to listen. You can also, maybe soon I will post our upcoming shows
Are you playing at the Fringe Club?
on December 17.
On December, yeah. That's
Our
one of my favorite venues for big band. I've seen
Yeah.
so many big band shows there.
Yeah, because long time ago we had a lot of shows in other venues, but now sadly they're closed.
Oh, oof.
Yeah.
Ooh, tough place.
But still, I'm so happy that Fringe Club is still alive.
I know. Touch and go recently.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of so let me get Jonathan back.
All right.
Jonathan, can you hear us?
Hey, yeah. Yeah, actually,
So I want to make sure that do you have any questions for Oliver while he's here that's on your mind when it comes to
yeah,
big band?
thank you, you guys. Actually, I was in the Bob Mitzer's concert in Hong Kong. That's why I met Oliver. Because I was the guy to taking some pictures for as a volunteer
Yes,
on
I
the
remember.
on the concert.
Okay.
That's why and then Oliver just texted me and are you working in the concert or something like that? Oh no, I'm just working as a volunteer to taking some pictures only. It's like all the years I just working with the media stuff. Is for example, this event is totally is like because I'm just familiar with the media technology. It's like something like that. It's more like, that's why I do this event, and I hope everything will be good. And because this is my first time to be do this, which is I'm not in Hong Kong at this moment. I'm in Berlin now. I'm so nervous because the lecture here is very difficult at this moment. But thank you again for Oliver and Curtis again. And
my pleasure.
I'm not
Any
sure if
questions? Any questions from the
anyone
audience?
would like to ask any questions to Oliver's
Or if
or
anyone has seen Oliver play while we're in Hong Kong, I'm happy
Yeah.
to share. Please share.
Is there anyone here already watched our Big Band Express before? Loaded.
I must have seen Big
Yeah,
Bang.
how about our audience?
Yeah.
If-
Any questions
If you
from?
if you have questions, just let us know.
Yeah.
How do I join a big band?
Yeah.
There was a time. There was a time I was playing trombone,
It
and
takes time.
It
It takes time. It's good that you already joined the jazz. How do you call it? Jazz jam, right?
jazz, yes.
So it's a good start. And then next step is to learn how to read properly, because most of the big band scores are written and detailed, like I said.
Yeah. Maybe I would
think
like
it-
to
it-
ask a little bit more about the big band's concerts. Is it like so different in the setup or even the sound will so important to listening the big band sound in the concert and live, or just listening in the Spotify or streaming media? Is it very different if we hear it's in the earphones or headphones? So what's your suggestions is like that? So how does it different here?
That's a nice question. It's really nice to hear the big bands live. Of course, if you are there, you can feel the music, you can feel the groove, you can even dance. And of course, it's nice to see all the soloists and the the ensemble playing. You can hear the balancing, the harmonization. Because sometimes if you just hear on a video or on the recording, sometimes you cannot hear the other instrument like the port trombone or the bass guitar or something. Sometimes it depends on the mixing. It depends on the technician, if he balance everything, it will sounds good, but not every time. Yeah, it happens sometimes like most of the videos are not perfect than a live listening.
Yeah, I think for me, being live, the room vibrates. You know, the drums, the horns. When it's really loud, you feel it and you vibrate. That's something you don't get from
Not
listening.
like the recording, of course. In recording, you can edit everything, you can mix it everything, but of course, it's different from a live performance. You can feel the goosebump as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So see if anyone want to add some comments or feelings after our sharing, or you still have some questions to ask Oliver.
Yeah, I feel like if it weren't for the pandemic, I'd still be playing the trombone a lot more.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I feel like because of the pandemic, all the jazz jams kind of stopped. No one wants to practice anymore because there's no gigs, so there's no reason to practice. Yeah, so it's a little sad.
Most of the big bands in the 60s, 70s, I mention that they also put the music to the movies
Onto the
to make it a
movies.
soundtrack. Like
Yeah.
James Bond, the James Bond is
Sure.
yeah. I forgot to mention James Bond. Most of the music are in the big band.
Oh yeah, you're
music.
right. That's interesting. Even modern like Adele. The Adele one was a very big band, very big bandy. Yeah, that sound hard to replicate.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So big band is a very flexible group as well. It could be it could be for dancing. It could be for soundtrack of the movies or for a show or for any events. But the thing is the venue, if the place, the stage is bigger, it will pitch. But if sometimes we deduct the people. Example, if we have four trumpets, four trombones, we just do two trumpets, two trombones, two saxophones to fit the place.
Oh,
It
I see.
happens like that.
Small spaces.
Smaller big band. It's called semi big band.
I think that's the biggest complaint I would have listening to a lot of big bands in Hong Kong is that there's not a lot of dancing. It's City Hall, Fringe Club. Was there dancing at the West Kowloon Jazz Fest where you just played? There's a lot of swing dance. Yeah, dancing is. I feel like big band is like a dance band, and not a lot of people take advantage of the dancing for that.
Yes. Do we have any question from our audience?
I have one that's specific to Hong Kong. So in the last 2 years, a lot of my musician friends left Hong Kong
Correct.
onwards. Do you see that a lot in the big band community too?
My Big Band Express or also lost some members. Maybe 8 of my members.
8 of them.
8 of it already went to other countries to migrate. But it's still, I need to do something as a band leader. I need to do something to make the band still works and still play everywhere so that we still having fun, because playing in the big band is very fun playing.
Yeah. I've never played in a big band, but there was a time when I was drumming, and there was a time I was nearly into as a drummer for a big band, but that never panned out.
Yeah. So Oliver, what's your forecast for the future about the big band scenes in Hong Kong? Is it, for example, yes, as I know Taka, who's owned the Saturday Night Jazz Orchestra, even him is just went back to Japan also. So yeah, I hope we will have a better scenes like.
Big Band Express is very flexible. We always play different styles. But other big bands, sometimes they only focus on one genre. Like Saturday night, they all usually play swing because they want people to dance and they want to be like the old school type of big band like Glenn Miller or Duke Ellington.
Yeah.
So it depends usually on the band leader what is his taste about choosing the tune, the songs.
And it seems like your taste in big band music is more varied.
I want to be more variety.
Yeah, I like that too.
Because of my age, maybe.
Anything else? Is there any questions on the Facebook side or any of the places you're streaming to? Hmm. Oh, sorry, I can't hear. Jonathan's muted.
Oh, I just checked it. There's no one's leave any message at this moment, but we will say a little bit, few minutes here, and see if anyone want to ask some questions. And yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Did you see anyone at Jazz Fest that you liked? Hong Kong just had this long weekend jazz festival. I wasn't able to make it, but did you stay and see any of the other groups?
Because I'm working at night,
Oh,
so
you work at night.
yeah, I just saw some people, some bands who's doing their sound check.
Yeah.
But I've been there before last year.
Yeah.
I saw some bands playing. It was really nice.
Yeah. There's a lot of new faces, I feel like.
Yes,
Next year.
yes. Some great players, some great bands. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a good sense that the jazz scene in Hong Kong is going to come back.
Hopefully everything will be, will be the same like before.
Hope so. A lot of jazz places have shut down.
Yeah.
Peel Fresco is one of the big ones.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grappas, even Grappas. We used to play in Grappas before in
that's
Central.
In Central,
Yeah,
yeah.
we used to have some big band shows there.
That's a dance?
They have a dance floor, and I remember Hong Kong swing dancers always came there to dance. Yeah.
So last questions I would like to ask if any the new jazz cats or some beginners and they would like to join the big bands, how they can do it? Is it like to do some auditions or how do they to find some
Word of
ways
mouth?
to join a big band? Yeah.
It's a good question, Jonathan, because my Big Band Express, we were going to maybe one of the thing that I always do on our big band, I always invite some people to sit in.
Yeah.
So if there's someone who wants to learn big band playing, maybe just message me. Let's see if there are many. We can set something like a amateur Big Band Express, something like that. And then it will be a good future for Big Band Express. We can get some players from that group, and if there's someone absent on the band, I can put them there.
Is there an instrument that is kind of harder to find in big band? Like, what's the rare instruments?
For me, on my experience, the rhythm section is the hardest to find.
Really, the rhythm section?
Yes.
Like anywhere else? I'm guessing it's the bass player is the hardest.
The bass player and drummer.
Bass and drummer.
Yeah. Because we can find easily, but the problem is you cannot find a good one.
I see.
You should find a better one to make you sound better as well.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. And so, anyone would like to join a big band, so just contact Oliver. Yeah, thank you. And really, I'd like to thank you again for the Curtis also, because he helped a lot for all these things and even the technical stuff, because now all you guys watching this screen here, like he set up all these things, and even the microphones that you can see attaching on the t-shirt and the shirt, and yeah, I think it's a lot of work for this. It's like I really thank you for Curtis and again Oliver. Yeah, they're sharing information
here, Jonathan.
Yeah, I hope.
Thank you, Curtis.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I hope to see you guys again. Maybe I'm not sure. I will organize these things next year. I'm not sure, but that depends on the situation. But I do thank you all of the participants here to joining us, and even that just to be a company with in the jazz industry, because it's a very important to at this crucial time, because the pandemic situation is like we need to some people to give some actual support, even that not only for the financial support, but you just sharing a poster or just let more people know about the jazz in Hong Kong, or even just share about some information, anything about the jazz theory or whatever. It's a mix some noise. It's also to make people would like to arouse the interest about jazz. I think think is quite important. That's why I would like to organize this the Jazz Congress in this year. I would like to know want to more people talking about jazz, and also if someone want to like to share their professionals in their size. For example, the coming up on Saturday is would be Timothy was sharing about the jam sessions at Panelist, or some culture, or how to survive in a jam session. And also next week will be have Kingston to sharing jazz composition, and also we will have Eileen Young to sharing the reharmonizations at Panelist. And so it's quite interesting. And also I think that we will have another, which is my friends in Berlin now. They are one of them is a DJ playing techno music, but she tried to use the jazz music into her work also. So she will introduce a little bit more about how they mix. She make the different genres together in her DJ playing the house music. And also I have another metal fans. He is from the America. He will try to introduce a little bit how the jazz incorporate with the metals. If the guys are metal heads, you can also try to join the sessions also. And yeah, and also we will have the Bernard to talk a little bit about how the jazz education, also how to learn the jazz for the beginners or stuff. And me, I would like to share a little bit more about the jazz in the movies. So you can stay tuned with us. And also if you want to check more information, you can check our Facebook. It will be more fast to share our information. Another way, you can go to www.jazzforfun.hk and /HKJC. So you can read all the information inside. So all the sessions times and panelists bio and etc. So thank you again.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I think I will stop here. And if you guys would like to get Oliver's contact, and I think I will post his email, I don't know, or Facebook page later on our page also, so you can contact him directly. Yeah, maybe Oliver, would you like to prefer anyone to contact you in Facebook or something?
Sure. My
Yeah.
pleasure. Yeah.
So, see you guys maybe next time. Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.